Well, hello. I'm Alena Chapman. And as I was sitting here having my cup of tea, I started thinking to myself, we need to talk about fear. So come join me. Let's talk about some fear. You know what? Fear. It is everywhere. People have so much fear. And sometimes we don't even recognize it. But here's the thing. It's like an undercurrent in our lives, affecting our lives on every level. I'll show you how in this short little video. Because once you understand, and also you understand 3 incredible ways to start to conquer that fear, it feels so good. And you want to feel like, I got this, right? So let's chat. My first question is, so, what are you afraid of? What is your fear? Because everybody has a fear, you know? And sometimes it comes in that critical voice. Well, not sometimes, all the time it comes in that critical voice. Fear, it comes in so many ways. Of course, everyone knows about the fear of failure. You know, that's one of our most prevalent ones. That fear of if I do this, is it going to fail? If I write that book, is it going to make it? If I start this business, I can't start the business, it might fail. Do you see? And there's also that fear of success. Oh my gosh, that business could really hit it, and then what do I do? So it's either way. But there's other fears. There's fear of loneliness. You didn't even know, huh? That's a big one. And that is part of the crux of so many relationships. We'll come back to that. Fear of losing security. Yeah, that keeps people in that awful comfort zone, which doesn't feel so good. You know, if I step out of my comfort zone and I start that new job or I start that new career, what about my security? My gosh, I know people who work at one place their whole life and they hate it because it's secure. And then they say, wait until I retire, wait till I retire. And then when they retire, they don't do anything. Or if they get fired, then they feel like they've been betrayed because they had built that as their security. But they never ever step out because it's not secure. There's also the fear of not being perfect. Not being the perfect mom, not being the perfect wife, not being the perfect husband, not being the perfect friend, not being the perfect daughter, not being the perfect son, not being the perfect teacher, not being the perfect at my job, not being the perfect, oh my gosh. And there's no such thing as perfection. That's what's so funny. You know, our fears, but the thing is, these fears that might be funny when we discuss them are not funny when they hit us. There are so many fears. That's just some. There's so many. There's fears of my children growing up. Fears that I'm insufficient. Fear that I can't, I won't make it on my own. That's another fear that a lot of women have, that one. Fear that I can go on and on and on. You know? Some people even have extreme fears. They can't even walk out of the house. That's how that fear can get into us. You know, it's not that far away. But here's the thing. Fear shrinks our ability to be creative, to think outside the box, to open our minds to the opportunities that are right before us, but we can't see it because we are shrunk with that fear to only think about the fear. And if we don't see the opportunities, then we can't find the solutions. So it keeps us in this bubble, and it shrinks our capacity. There's one story that I have about my middle son. I used to take the kids to kayak when they were all home. Now they're all grown and doing their own thing, but I think I might do it again though. I want to get back there. But I used to take my kids back to Vermont, my home state, down the river kayaking. And because I don't want to travel with kayaks, they have people that we can rent kayaks from right there. Well, we went one day, and this was when they were younger. And we rented the kayaks from this lady, and she was busy. I mean, she had other people. And I'm sure that, you know, her mind was racing because she had quite a few other people. It's funny, when we got on the river, we didn't see anybody. So she spaced them out beautifully. Thank you. But this is the thing. She said, that the pickup, you start from one point and then they pick you up at another point. There's a stop where you stop, all right, would be at the second bridge. All right, so we had 2 kayaks. I was with my youngest and my oldest was with my middle son. And they were right in front of us. And we're going and we're happy and it's so beautiful and serene. And oh my gosh, I love it. So we are just fine, and then the second bridge comes. My middle son, who happens to see things extremely black and white, and he also, when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And if they say this is real, then that's what they say, And she had said the second bridge. Well, I looked over on the bank, and it is really muddy. It does not look like a place where we are going to drop off our kayak. It doesn't even look like a place I really want to get out of the kayak. But my middle son is so bent on it is at this place. So over we go, because I'm going to show him. I get out of the kayak and I actually step into this mud that comes up to my thigh. Not thrilled about that. And I'm trying to drag that out. I get him on the little bit of land that's there. And he starts to panic because he knows it's not the place. And he was only 8 years old. He's starting to breathe hard. He's starting to go into a panic attack. That's what fear does. There are different ways. We're going to talk about that. And he could not get himself to settle down. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a great lesson. So I said, okay, it's okay. This is not a problem. Just breathe. Just breathe with me. And we breathe together in 5 and breathe out 5. Breathe in 10. Breathe out 10, okay? That's a great way when you're going into a panic attack to really breathe in. The other way I love is to breathe down into my stomach, then fill the sides, then the next breath I fill my back, then I fill my stomach, and then I fill way down into my abdomen, okay? Something to focus on other than the fear. And it also gives your body oxygen. So anyway, I got him to slow down and breathe. I said, honey, she just made a mistake. It's no big deal. We just go up one more. Don't worry. There's civilization around us. We're going to be fine. You just have to trust me on this. I am not going to lead you, but I want you to learn something here. When you're in that state, honey, when you're in that fear, you didn't see any solution. All you saw is, we can't do this. We're not here. This isn't right. And you did not see even the option of going to another bridge. And he just looked at me. I said, honey, I've learned a long time ago when I was 10 years old that if you put that in that panic mode, it shrinks your ability to do everything. You can't let yourself get there. There is always a solution. And so he learned a very valuable lesson. And we got back into our kayaks. And yes, at that third little bridge, there was our pickup. See? But how many times do we let the fear stop us at a place where it's not the pickup, where there is not a solution, and then we panic, and we can't see that the solution is right over there? Isn't that something? So fear is very handicapped in so many ways. And it is like, well, let me ask you, and let me let you know that yes, everyone has this. That little undercurrent that rides inside you that is just like this little turning. It's this unsettled feeling, this little insecure part, just a little one. And it just turns and then it roars when it wants to. That's the fear. And if you're always feeling that, then guess what? That fear is active in every part of your life. It's active in the decisions you make for your work, in the decisions you make for your family, especially with kids. You see that like crazy, especially with your relationships. Anything you do that is a little bit different. It is in every reaction that you make with every person or situation. Isn't that something? Because it's a belief too. So if fear is so prevalent, is there a way for us to stop rationalizing into the fear? Because that's what it is. It's, I want to write that book, but, and then here comes the fear. I don't know if I can make it an international bestseller. I want to ride my bike, but I'm scared of riding it in the road. I want to do, anything. I really want to start dating, but, and then you list all the reasons of all your past relationships Why you're not going to do it. And that but is the rationalization of fear. So is it possible to just do fearlessly with confidence and I got this and move forward without all that rationalization of fear? Yes, it is. Yeah, there is. First of all, I think it's really important. Well, guys, you know I'm a spiritual curator. I'm a spiritual thought leader. And so I draw upon all the religions and the modalities and even a little bit of science to bring you the truth, that the underlying incredible truth, and also some of the skills of each of these modalities and religions, because everything has a gem. But when you are looking at all the different religions and modalities, you see the simple truths that help you. And so today I'm going to draw upon those. There is, first of all, a wonderful core of love. All religions and modalities all have this core of love. When you know that, you understand that to be in love, you have to be absent a certain amount of fear. Because love and fear are two polar opposites. So already you're starting to be in the light. The other thing is kindness and giving and feeling whole with this, okay? And for the person, it is, I am enough, I am love, and love is the truth, and acceptance. Okay, so there's the setup. Now, the Buddhists and the Taoists do a lot of meditation. Well, now meditation's almost anywhere. But they're very into insightfulness, clarity, and acceptance. Those are the different categories of the meditations. And all of them are to reach that centeredness, that acceptance of oneself. And this is called introspection. It's that meditation, starting to be introspective with ourselves, starting to find our own calm center. And we start to open up to our truth of who we are. And this is an important practice to start. How does this help us with our fear? Well, first of all, it gets us back into a centered equilibrium. Because let's face it, when we are fearful, we're not at an equilibrium. We're over in that other mode, that panic. All right? So this is to get us back to that. And it also sets the stage for the second step. But that area of having that introspection to gain more focus and centeredness, focus in our life, so we're not bouncing all over the place. And also it gives us a forum for the next step. And I call that cause, C-A-U-S-E, the cause step. Because in order to really understand our fears, you can start doing affirmations up to wazoo. But if you don't know what the problem is, really, you don't know what the root of it is, you know all of what it causes. Like, you know that it's costing you a really good relationship. You know you're having trouble stepping out of your comfort zone. You hear the voices, but you don't always know what the fear is. Then you tend to not be at the root of it. But here it is. To find the cause is to ask yourself two questions. How do I feel when fear starts to rise? What does it start to do? Do I panic? Do I freeze? I freeze. Do I get angry? Do I strike out? Do I get protective? Okay? That gives you incredible warning. And then, what are the thoughts? The second question, what are the thoughts that I have that just keep, right before I have to deal with that fear, there's thoughts that run through my head that trigger the fear. What are those thoughts? For me, I had one that was the root, that was taught to me since I was knee high, and I didn't even realize it until I tried to do something big on my own, and it just hit me so hard. And that was that I needed to be taken care of, meaning I couldn't take care of myself. Now, isn't that silly? But yet, it was in there, and it was manifesting in all sorts of ways. But once I heard that, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to take care of yourself that way. As soon as I heard it, I understood the root problem. And then I could counteract it with logic. Do you see? Of course, who else is going to do it? I'm strong. I can do that. See how that works? And that introspection plus the cause can help you get through any fear. The third important one is build your belief and faith in the love, something bigger than you. We don't go through this life alone. We have so much of a network in the divine that helps us. Now, if you're Christian and your sole focus is on Jesus and God, that's fantastic. But they're not out there. They're right with you. And for anyone else, everyone has a divine, a source, a higher belief, even if it's our higher self. That's incredible too. It's always with us. It's omnipresent. It's always around. You are not walking alone. And the best part is you can always hear it if you ask. But you got to believe in that. You got to build that faith. How do you do that? With what you listen to. I've got a bunch of videos. Join Soul Talk. We talk all about this kind of thing. There are other videos on YouTube. I have videos. Other wonderful spiritual leaders have videos. Reach out and listen and grow your own faith. Because with that, it gives you reinforcement. It gives you hope. It gives you that foundation of I am love. And that makes everything easier. And you can't really fall. You know? You can't. You get a greater understanding when you build that step. These 3 steps will help you to become that confident, fearless, and strong person you've always wanted to be. And I'll tell you what, if you are someone who really wants to go through this and conquer the fear and would like some help, reach out to me. This is what I do. I understand how important it is. And I understand how wonderful it feels. So give me a contact on soulmanifesto.com. Join us. We have a wonderful 7-day reset. And we also have that Soul Talk where we talk there. And if you want me to work with you personally, I can do that too. We also have the Inevitable You program, which is an awesome program with wonderful leaders that, like Elizabeth Gilbert, Dave McElwain, Tara LaFave, Chad LaFave, and more, all teaching you different ways to build that confidence, conquer that fear, grab into that creativity, and begin to design your life and soar. And isn't that what it's all about? So check out Soul Manifesto and reach out to us and we'll help you. You don't need to live with fear, ever. Living with more love is what spirit is all about and what our lives are about. Namaste, my dear friends. I hope you enjoyed your tea and your coffee, and I hope you learned a little bit about fear. Have a wonderful, fearless, confident day. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll enjoy. Namaste.